Director Master, D-I-R-E-C-T-O-R. And we're on. Thank you, Mac. Welcome to Post.
Lights.
Rolling.
Camera.
Rolling.
Sound.
Rolling.
Action.
Yeah,
Yes.
nailed it. Nice. Thank you, Chad. Chad Carvell, co-producer. Executive.
Well, it's not quite in frame, but you two are.
Executive
I got the important ones in frame.
That's true.
Executive co-producer. Marianne, of course, director, treasurer. Me.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a penny.
Rapscallion.
Rascallion Schlepper.
Schlepper.
And this is a postcard from Lowell. And that was courtesy of
Mega Jones.
and Chris Susi. And we thank him.
Yeah.
And this
This
is
Joni stuff.
a Joan phone. Hello. I told you. You don't talk
Oh,
unless
look at-
someone's on there.
She's thinking of us.
And Lowell fell. She even Lowell fell. Thank you, Joan. We love it. And we also have a backup phone. The director will have to help us on that.
The lady phone. Sponsored by
The lady phone.
Adam Messer.
What is ladyish about this?
It's effeminate. It's an effeminate phone.
Yeah. It's upside down.
Yeah, it is.
That's because I'm not used to using ladies' phones. Thank you, Adam. You know what it is? That's the extension phone for this one.
Yes.
Yes.
Backup.
Man and woman phone is a man phone, a manly phone, a manly kind of phone,
yeah.
very managed phone.
We have to describe things in broader terms.
And of course, thank you, Carol Cooper,
Hey, Carol.
for my Justin glass.
I got a bone to pick, but I'm going to wait till you do your postcard from Lowell.
No, let's get into the bone. Because I want to tell the good people, Carol Cooper,
Yes.
my daughter, Marianne's stepdaughter,
Yes.
your pal,
My pal.
is one of this show's
Yes.
biggest friends.
But did she stick around for the show?
No.
Well, now here's how her sweet father would say it. Honey, you had a long ride. You did the right thing.
Yeah. What's a few
Anyway.
more hours?
Carol was here last night and the night before. We were so happy. She
What a
went down
delight.
to Florida to see her kids and grandchildren and come up here to see her dear old
She's
dad
busy.
and Marianne. It was very good to us and it was great seeing her. And she stayed for dinner last night and
Yes.
we had you.
Yeah.
And
Was I tasty?
for dinner, yeah. Anyway, we'd like to thank Patrick Saxon
Oh,
for
Patrick,
coming.
yeah.
Julia Gulia.
Julia Gulia was here?
Julia Gulia.
You wish you would have been here for supper.
And of course, you, I, Marianne, and Carol.
Yeah, they took it out
And
of my...
Manny couldn't come. Manny wanted to come, but he got tied up with a family thing, and that's totally understandable. Family
Perfectly
first,
understandable.
family first.
Yeah.
But we had a great time last night. It was great to see you, Carol. Thank you for the effort, for coming, for the
Yes.
swell gifts you brought. You
Yeah.
came bearing gifts, too, because it was birthday quarter for me. It's like the
I didn't get a gift.
It's not your birthday quarter.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean,
It has to be in the birthday quarter.
in the range.
Yeah, is the month you're born
Oh,
and,
January.
and the 2 months that touch it.
No.
That's your birthday quarter. It's a quarter of a year, so.
Yeah. That's when I report my taxes. Quarterly. And only in my birthday year.
Anyway, so we had a great time. Carol was here,
Wonderful.
and she's probably still pedaling her way
On
home
the
right
road,
now.
yeah. How
And
long do you think it'll take her to get home?
okay,
5
I'm off the
hours?
sides. I'm thinking the way we drive is the way she drives is probably 6.5.
Okay.
No, so she's still on the road, but she should be home shortly.
She should be home
Yeah.
shortly.
Yeah. Anyway, we
Call
love
us and let us know you made it.
We won't be on.
And that's what Central Time, so she's going to be an hour
Oh,
behind us.
she's in the panhandle?
Now, last week I started with, because of special request from Chad,
Yeah.
he said, do you remember your first romance?
Yeah.
And this was a romance, because she thought I wanted her, as just a brief to people that saw her last week, or those that
Yeah,
didn't,
catch them up.
was in the 5th grade, I happened to tell my sis, I didn't happen to tell my, I just said, did you see the girl next to me? She's kind of cute. So my sister sat in front of me, and the girl, whose name I won't tell.
No.
So I go in the next day, and there's a note on my desk.
Yeah.
And it said, Buddy, that was my nickname, I love you, blank, blank, the real person's name. So I look at it, and I see her looking over me. I go, I knew seeing that, I knew my sister's handwriting, so I go, look at my sister wrote. I didn't say that, but I just handed a note. So she looks at it and then writes me a note back saying, I love you too, buddy. She thought the note said, I love you, blank, blank.
Yeah.
It was, no, I love you, and that was supposed to be her signature, blank, blank.
Right.
So now, I got a girlfriend that I didn't want. I'm in the 5th grade. I truly didn't want a girlfriend.
And that's where you left off the story last week.
Right. And as I said, she used to chase me around the playground. Oh, God, during lunchtime and I couldn't get
Poor
away
buddy.
from her. The only lucky thing is she didn't take the same bus as I did. She lived about, I'm thinking maybe a half mile away, maybe a little more, but
Far enough for a
fortunately
different bus.
we didn't take the same school bus. Oh, that would have been torture.
Yeah.
So anyhow, now this went on, and she kept bringing me candy. Every day she'd bring me, I never gave her anything.
Yeah.
I thought that was the way it was supposed to be, because that was my first romance.
You
the
didn't know any better.
Girl brings the guy candy. That was the
Yeah.
best deal of it.
Of course.
Now, who wouldn't think that was, I mean, if that's the first time it happened to you, how did I know that she probably was looking for candy too?
Right. You thought that's why people call each other sweetie.
Yeah, because she's buttering candy.
Yeah.
So I gave her a stick of butter.
I know you. I
I
wouldn't be
buttered her
surprised
up.
if you gave out butter.
Well, only in the winter because it would have melted by the time I got to school.
Right on.
So now I really, it's after a couple of weeks, even with the candy, it's growing old.
Yeah.
I want to play with my friends. It's recess time. I want to play ball or kickball or whatever we
She's
do.
on your heels.
Oh, and just, hi, buddy. Hi. And all the kids love that. My friends love that. Yo, hi, buddy. Yeah, stop it. I'm only taking candy from her. I'm not giving her anything.
Right? There's no mutual love here, really.
So anyway, so now we get to school one day, and I'm at my locker, and I turned, and she's like, the shadow on my shoulder. Hi, buddy, how you doing? I says, leave me alone.
Just like that, though.
And she looked at me like this and walked away. Never spoke to me again.
Wow, that's
It
all it
worked.
took?
It worked.
It was wonderful.
Well, Mary Ann can tell you, if you do that to some girls, that doesn't matter.
No.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what again,
You got lucky.
I got all that candy,
Uh-huh.
and when I wanted the candy to end, it did. Without any repercussion. So now we're going to flash forward to a couple of years later. A friend of mine, Paul, his name was Paul, not my brother Paul, my brother's much younger than me, but a friend of mine, Paul, and I, it's Sunday. So what do you do on Sunday? It's in the winter. He calls me. He said, you got any hot dogs at home? Yeah, bring them. We're going to have a campfire and we'll cook the hot dogs. And he brought something else too. So, all right. So I met him at his house. We walked, and the woods behind his house led to the woods behind Candy Girl's house.
Years later.
Well, a couple of years later.
Okay.
And she still wasn't speaking to me, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And so I think she went to another school. I think they transferred her to another school. She was so hot.
That's how damaged she was.
She was damaged by then. So
Yeah.
anyway, so we light a fire and we cook a
Hot
dog. And we sit there, probably had a thermos of hot chocolate. It's January. And it's in the middle of the winter. It's beautiful. Snow all over the place. And we're just doing that, a little fire and that. So Paul says, we had some leftover newspaper from starting the campfire, right? And he looks and I look, and I knew what he meant. There was a beautiful Christmas tree about 6-7 feet high, just growing there, beautiful, shaped. It looked like someone was trimming it to use it for Christmas.
Right.
So we stuffed newspapers in it.
Oh. Don't laugh about it.
Whew, in no time, that whole tree went out. We are so proud of ourselves. Whoa, I mean, we're getting a sunburn from it.
You burnt down a Christmas tree.
Well, right, and it was after Christmas, so.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, and there was a lot of snow. It wasn't going to catch anything on fire.
Of course not.
That fire didn't.
No.
So anyway. And this black smoke is coming up. And then it's just about getting to the end. There's nothing but black. It looked like Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Nothing but black needles.
It was done.
And a cloud of smoke. And who are those guys running toward us? And these guys were 20. And we're only 15, say.
Wow.
And running with purpose through the snow. Let's go. We called it eating on the run. We're finishing our hot dog. We're running, finishing our hot dog. Paul could run like a deer. However, with the snow, you can't run as fast. I mean, we're just bounding. And there was a fence, but he was able to leap over the fence, and I didn't see it. It was barbed wire. Bang! I get hit right here.
Oh
Just
my
missed
God.
the eye. Just right in the eyebrow. I get hit there. It knocked me backwards. Come on! So we held it up, and I crawled under and ran. And so now they followed the tracks. We had a good lead on them, but they followed the tracks, and they're right outside Paul's house.
Uh-oh.
And we're hiding in the garage out of breath, right? So the paper boy comes by. And someone says, and one of the boys that was chasing it, you know any boys live around here? Oh, yeah, right here. Paul lives there. If you're looking for him, he probably did something. So they come knocking on the door, and fortunately, Paul's father was home. So he comes down and says, what's going on here? There they are. Those two lit a fire and burned a tree and a. He says, okay. He says, thank you for telling me. I'll take care of it. All right, bye. And they left. What happened? I don't know. We were burning, like we were cooking a hot dog, and a spark must have blew over on a Christmas tree. We tried to put it out, but the snow was frozen, and we couldn't pick it up and throw it out. Well, just be careful. Okay, thanks. So then we got a hold of the paper boy.
Yeah.
You didn't think. You didn't rat. You didn't do that even back then.
Wow.
He got a what for ratting on us. And these guys would have broke our neck because they wanted to. And I'm thinking, this is more than that. This is karma for me telling her to take a hike.
Oh, they her
That
brothers?
was yes, that was their brother.
That was her
Sure,
brother.
that.
Candy Girl's brother was the one chasing you.
Both of them.
Both of
They're
them.
both in their 20s. They were older than her and me.
Wow.
And they
So that's the
were
rest of the
booking.
story.
They were not happy seeing a big Christmas tree that they were probably saving for next year
For Candy Girl.
Candy Girl's Christmas.
Candy Girl's
but
Christmas.
she'd have given it to someone else, so I'm not feeling bad yet. Anyway, that's my postcard.
Feeling
from
like a Dolly Parton song.
another true story
It's
from
gonna
that.
be a hard candy Christmas.
Yeah, from the Chronicles.
No,
of
you call
Life growing
hard
up
candy
with
old
Buddy.
man candy, so you can't have that. You can't have an old man candy
Oh
Christmas.
man, candy
There's
Christmas.
gonna be an old man candy.
It's butterscotch
Christmas.
and chewy mints. For everyone.
Where's pocket lint? Pull the pocket lint off. It's still
It's
good.
fine. It's mostly wrapped.
It's the chewy part that gets me.
The chewy mints?
Yeah.
My father always had.
If it was soft scented, it'd be fine.
My father always had lifesavers, but before lifesavers. Then he bought charms. You ever have charms?
Yeah.
All right, it's the same as lifesavers, only no hole. It's a little
Right.
rectangle of candy. It's solid.
Yeah.
So there was more. There's no candy in the hole in lifesavers.
This
There's
is
more candy
yeah.
in it
Of
than there
course.
was in a lifesaver.
No hole.
And he would come home from work, and hey, Dad, how you doing? I'd run right by him and raid his pocket. Hey, I'll need some of those for tomorrow. Okay, I'll share. Every day when he went to work, it was work like a charm. I'd take his charm.
Now listen, here's a serious question.
Yes,
Lifesavers.
yes.
Were they the mint ones or the silly fruity ones?
No, the multicolor, the whole pack of the
Ugh.
multicolor.
So gross.
No, when I bought them, there was one, it was like clear. Crystal mint or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did you like those?
Meh.
Man.
Meh.
I liked them.
Yeah.
I like
you're right.
anything minty.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
I have a thing, a little can of the Altoids in my car.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother gets so mad because he can't stand the sound of it in my mouth. He doesn't like the sound of me like biting on it or whatever, and like he loses his mind. Some people are really sensitive to like mouth noises.
Gross noises, yeah.
Yeah, not gross. I'm just
They are
mint.
if you're not doing it. They're
Right.
gross. Yeah. And
That's right. Did you ever see Candy Girl later in life?
Yeah.
That you can mention on this show?
Yeah. Now I'm in high school. And as I said, I don't know what happened to her. So I knew, the brothers didn't bury her somewhere.
She's clearly fine.
Yeah, because I saw her, but she no longer went to our school system. Maybe parochial school.
Okay.
I don't know. Whatever it is.
She was traumatized.
Yeah, she really was.
I can't go back and look at him.
Scarred for life.
Yeah.
So now I'm a senior, and it's about, let's see, 11th grade, 6 years later. Totally different people at 6 years
That's a
later.
big difference.
And I happened to see her. It wasn't obviously in school because she didn't go to my school anymore. Happened to see her, I think near the coffee shop we hung around.
Yeah.
I said hi to her. I said, hey, yeah, hi, how you doing? I'm Buddy Cooper. Okay, hi. Talk about holding a grudge.
Give you the silent
Talk
treatment.
about holding a grudge. I was
She
going to say,
dismissed you.
Yeah.
Frost's drugstore is across the street. Want to go over there and buy me some candy?
She would have punched
She
you in the
missed
nose.
out on that.
I would have punched you in the nose on her behalf. Oh, poor candy girl.
All she said was, "Wait here, my brothers will be out of work in 20 minutes."
I'm surprised you never got like a flat tire on your bicycle or like an egg on your window.
Well, they knew it was Paul. They didn't know it was me because that was Paul lived in a
Not the
different
tree.
neighborhood.
I'm talking about the brothers didn't come after you when you
Well,
broke
no,
up.
they didn't know it was me. Oh, when I broke up with her.
Yeah.
That's
usually
That's
usually when the brothers come in.
You know, it ain't too late. That's why I don't give her a name.
I'll say our
Oh,
first.
but that makes them a lot older than me. Let them come.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, they'll be hobbling, and you'll still be able to run.
You want to get hit with a cell phone?
Most of my young loves were all. You can't imagine this. You might imagine this. I never talked to the girls I liked.
No, I can't imagine. No, absolutely. That was a thing. I mean, there was girls that were so beautiful.
Yeah, just couldn't.
Right. So tell us about the ones you didn't talk to, or the ones that you had to talk to.
First grade.
Oh, jeez.
First grade.
First grade.
Over.
There's this cute little brunette girl, giant owl glasses. We're talking about 1980, whatever.
All the hourglasses.
Oh my gosh, little nose poking out the end of the glasses.
Oh, cute as a button.
I'm sold. I was infatuated with this woman. She's doing great now. She's got kids, we're 40 something now, right? Anyway, I'll just say her initials were CB.
CB.
Yeah, that was my first little. Never said a word to her. I just looked at her.
I get it. Well, it's first grade. That's all you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Not even supposed to look at.
Yeah, and there were several in high school. Didn't even not one word to. Not one. Not a letter, not a secret message in the box. No.
You know who's enjoying this?
All the women I didn't say hello to?
And Mary Ann. So
Yeah.
let's put her in the spot.
Yeah, Marianne.
What? A first love?
Yeah, turn the camera around.
Yeah.
Just you don't even have to move.
You mean
Hi,
a
Mary.
first
Oh,
love?
that's okay. Hi, Mary Ann. That's our director. Say hi to our audience.
Deborah Superior there watching.
Debbie, how you doing? Look at we get Mac on the spot. We
Mac,
get
Just
her
for
on the
Debbie.
hot
Do you
seat.
remember your first crush? Or your first, little boyfriend?
I
or
don't
That was
whatever?
only last week.
I don't remember one as far back as the two of you.
Oh.
I guess it was in junior high school.
That's about normal for most people.
Yeah.
When everything's
And
the clouds
he
break.
was, he went to my school.
Yeah.
And he was just tall and good looking, and it was one of those ones that you just couldn't talk to for the same reasons you said.
There's no way.
There's no
There's
way
an
that this
intimidation
one
factor,
is.
right.
I know, but somehow we got to be introduced or talked to in a group with other people talking to him, and we
Right.
started a conversation, and he asked me out, and I was like on cloud nine. Cloud nine.
Yeah.
Did you bring him candy?
I had no idea.
Why is it that nobody ever tells us what the protocols are? Even when
They
you're
don't
young
want
like
us.
that,
When
you're
you're
like,
young, your parents don't want you messing around with
But I
someone
asked-
else. They just don't want that.
I asked my mom and my friends about dating and such.
Yeah.
There was no instructional information.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
That's a good question. I never even asked anybody. It's
What
like,
to do about
it
it.
should be you should. It's like you get the feeling that you should understand what all this is
It's about, right.
and how to do it.
Yeah.
And nobody knows that you're naive
Right.
and this is your first time.
Right.
And then you feel that I can't ask it now because everyone knows the
Everyone
answer but
knows,
me.
yeah,
I'm the
exactly.
only dumb
The only
person
dumb-
on the planet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel so dumb. Really.
And I grew up in a trailer park, so if I asked questions, I would get the way wrong answer.
Hey, you didn't have to grow up there to get the wrong answer.
I feel that's pretty mutual. But, so, yeah, I mean, we got to stop doing that. Just talk to your kids. Say, oh, you'll be interested in boys or girls or whatever.
It
And it's
turned out,
okay to talk to that person.
Yeah, but it turned out that he was not all that I imagined him.
Oh, that's
And after the first date, it was like,
that's what you find out about. It's like
Here's a mint.
the imaginary person that
Yeah.
you're interested in is not the person you're actually interested in. Which is why, my relationships never really worked out.
So let's
Well,
turn
thank you,
this
Mary
back
Ann.
around.
You know,
Mary Ann.
As again, we don't
I
have.
think if you'd have given him candy, he would have stuck around.
Well, you wouldn't be here now. Neither would I.
Yeah, that's true.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Good thing she didn't give him candy.
Yeah,
He just stuck around.
that one
He
decision.
might have changed too. He might have been from being
Yeah.
to something decent. And we didn't want that.
Oh, chocolate covered cherries. Yeah. You know, my backslash, the only reason.
Should we explain that for those that don't
Oh,
know
yeah,
what a backslash is?
It's not quite an X.
An ex. You know, when I say, hey, my ex, I'm talking about someone that used to be.
Right.
Well, if
Yes.
when he kept telling me about his ex, I'm saying it doesn't sound like an ex. You keep seeing it, you keep getting together, you keep doing this.
Strictly platonic.
Okay, then I said that's like half an X, backslash. So that's what backslash is.
Yes.
Is half an X.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, she lives in an entirely different state now, so I think it's fair to say X.
You're always in a different state, so it doesn't matter. So anyway, finish this because we got to wrap this show
Where were we
up.
going?
I don't know. You said you
Oh.
brought it up. My ex.
When you give people you're interested in stuff, it changes the equation. I made when we were talking on the phone, she was like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to meet you. You could be an axe murderer." So on our second date, I brought her an axe, the world's smallest axe. I carved the little axe out of a matchstick and put the tip of a razor blade on the end of it, and made a tiny little axe about that big. And I brought it to her house. I said, "Well, just in case, use this one." She decided to keep dating me because of that. So I'm saying sometimes the gifts go one way, the other way.
You know, Mary Ann has an ex murderer story too, but we really don't have time. We like to say goodbye. Thanks for tuning in.
Clearly, she made it.
Well, that's interesting that you said that. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, we'll tell it another day.
Yeah, we'll do another day. Anyway.
My brother's got a serial killer story, and he met a serial killer.
Okay, Chad, thank you.
It's true.
Say goodnight.
Good night, Gracie.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie. We love you. Thanks for watching.
Bye, all.
Love you, Carol.
And if anyone had any doubt, this show is not scripted.
You can tell by it, yes. And if Conrad and Debbie are out there watching this, hopefully tonight or tomorrow, we want to say hello. And Debbie Superior.
Yeah.
Hey, Debbie.
Everybody
We're coming. We're coming to see you one of these days, so get ready. I'll give you advance notice.
And hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
And Carol, always. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you
Same
for
time,
watching.
same place next week.
You betcha. By golly, wow.
Postcards.